Welcome back, nieces, nephews, everything in between and or otherwise, to another episode of Video Game Realtor, where I go through your favorite video game locales and see if I can't find you a place to stay. And today, we are still in the land of Hyrule, and we're getting subterranean, diving, quite literally, into the mini wells of this world to figure out which of these rain catchers would make the best home for the people who missed out on buying a shrine when they were available. And I always have to clarify with this series that we are not trying to survive here, just live here. So mini wells can have food and water available in them, and those are great, but they will not automatically rank higher than wells that don't have them. What it really comes down to is vibes and aesthetics, and oftentimes size and accessibility. Speaking of accessibility, exactly 0 of these wells are wheelchair accessible for having to just fall into or climb down a ladder into these wells. And then the cliffs you have to climb to scale up to the higher places in them, these wells are pretty much just an option for the able-bodied. If you are able to climb around, you're going to hate it real soon. For all of these wells, you're going to need to install a ladder if there isn't already one for you. And for all the wells with different elevations, you'll need ladders for that too. Maybe if you really wanted to, you could carve some stairs into some of these places, but this isn't Minecraft, so we're going to try and keep our speculative renovations pretty light, with just adding ladders and draining water where it's needed. But as a good rule of thumb, dangerous wells will go lower, and prettier ones will go higher. Though both of these rules do have a bit of wiggle room, so don't hold me to that. But enough of the long intro, let's talk about the worst well to live in Tears of the Kingdom. Number 51, Zelda's Secret Well. Now I'll say that honestly, this isn't the worst well, at all. Frankly, it's the cutest and coziest, with all of Zelda's things down here. And she even had this dock built over the water to accommodate it all. The reason it's the lowest though is because this is already Zelda's. And it would be rude to try and take it over for ourselves. Kind of like how Zelda took over Link's house between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still upset about that. Number 50, Shadow Hamlet Ruins. The first entry was a joke, but this one really is just the worst. Even with this small amount of lava, it causes this whole place to become a big boiling crock pot with you as the main dish. And it is the only well with lava in it, so easy bottom pick. Number 49, South Nabi Lake. Number 48, Mount Daphne's. Number 47, Rowan Plain. Those 3 aren't in any particular order because they're all just secret chasms. Hop into them and you fall into the depths. And yes, I did place these higher than the lava ones because you at least have a chance of survival in the depths. Number 46, Tobantha Village Ruins. This place could have been great. It's got a spacious main room and 2 smaller rooms below, one of which would make for a great bedroom. Only issue is that it is freaking freezing. You'd have to always be wearing at least 1 piece of cold-resistant clothing, or stay near this fire at all times if you want to live here. And I don't really care for survival requirements when I'm looking to buy a house, so let's just keep looking. Number 45, Hyrule Castletown Ruins. This is our first actually safe well, and God does it suck, and I hate it. This whole place consists of you having to swim through this labyrinth of a well with hardly any spots to actually stand, much less bring in furniture, much less actually living here. I hate this one. Number 44, Riverside Stable. This one would be pretty decent if it weren't so wet. It's got good space, high ceilings, and already has a ladder, but unfortunately it is situated right under a river, hence the name, and the water from it is constantly being soaked into the ground and dripping into the well, causing a perpetual indoor shower. Not something you want for your living room. Though there were some boards laying around, so I constructed a little awning for you to sit under if you really had to stay here. Number 43, East Akala Stable. This one is for my religious types, because that's about all you get here. There are 2 rooms in this one, with a very short hallway connecting them, and not very much ground to stand on in either of them. The main cell here is the in-house goddess statue, so that you may worship from the comfort of your home. If you could even call this crevice a home. Amen. Number 42, Raru Settlement Ruins. Not much to say here other than it goes higher because we actually have more room and the mud is honestly kind of cool. Just watch your step. Alright, now these next few are going to be kind of the same in that they're all big, wet, boring wells, so I won't have so much to say about them, and I'll kind of just let the footage speak for itself mostly. Starting with number 41, Outskirt Stable. It's just kind of a long, wet hallway. Number 40, Wetland Stable, north and south. Another long wet hallway, but this one is a bit more shallow, so maybe you can drain the water and just have a hallway. Fun fact about this one, it is the first of a few wells to have multiple entrances, so that's neat. Number 39, Snowfield Stable. Not much to this one other than it's pretty cold, but not dangerously so. And fairies can spawn in here, so there's that, and at least it's not a hallway. Number 38, Lookout Landing. You get very little space on your side of the well, and yes, there are sides, because you get to share this place with the well-loving, well-wisher. Oh, that actually works out perfect for this. There isn't much space on either side, and even less on yours with that big rock. But up this stream, you have easy access to Lookout Landing HQ, and you can probably use this room as a bathroom. And I think getting to live with anyone this passionate about anything is its own reward. Number 37, Poplar Foothills South. This one would actually be pretty good if it weren't for the water. If you swim through and get to the other side, you'll find this alcove which is actually pretty cozy. And someone else must have had the same thought because there's an abandoned little campsite set up here. If you were to drain the water, maybe this place would have gone a lot higher than this, but here it is. Number 36, Gopanga Village Ruins. Not much to say on this one, and it isn't much itself. But it's all right here for you to access, no more hallways and tunnels or having to swim through water. And now it's time for the activity center section of this video, where I take some of the places that wouldn't quite fit as homes and make them into places where communities can go to just have fun. There are often a lot of pools involved with these videos and activity centers, but in this one, all the activity centers are pools. Wells are water catchers after all. And by the way, these picks are just grouped together, not actually ranked as better or worse than each other. They are still numbered, but those aren't really relevant right now. Number 35, Elma Knolls. This is a big one. Let's take it from the top. You fall in, and if that hole were filled, would make for a solid well on its own. But once you go down that hole, you'll fall into this pool, which already could fit a bunch of people in it. But if you move past it, you'll find the main cell, an entire underground lake. This whole area before you even get into the water already has plenty of room to set up tables and get a grill going while others are playing in the lake. And if you sail across to the other side, you'll find even more open space to set up whatever you like. Tents or a campfire or whatever. This is your place for you and the community to come to have fun. And yes, there is a shrine here, but it's just a blessing shrine. Probably would be used best for storage if nobody was already living there. Number 34, Dea Village Ruins. As you can see here, the Dea Village Ruins has a lot of entrances. And it's a good thing too, because we can fit a lot of people in here. We've got another big underground lake, and another shrine, and it's raining down here too. The raining part actually kind of works for this one though. If you've ever gone swimming in the rain, you know two things. One, it's awesome, and two, it's dangerous because lightning can strike in the water and kill you. But with this, you get to swim in the rain, and you don't have to worry about dying. To lightning at least. With it raining down here, all the surfaces are going to be pretty slick. So just be careful climbing on these rocks. Should probably put some ladders on them, really. Especially if you're coming into the main area from one of these directional wells. Speaking of, if you come in from the north, east, or especially the southern wells, you'll be dropped into semi-private pools higher up from the main pool. With the south well though, it is entirely private with a gate separating it from the rest. You can only access this area by getting in from the surface. This area has the most water, but very little land around it to stand on, and the water is rushing as well, so there's a bit of a safety hazard there, so be careful. Number 33, Woodland Stable. Moving to the opposite of giant lakes, we have a tiny little hot tub. This tub will get you right and heal you up, and all you have to do is chill. There will probably be a waiting list for this one though. Number 32, Mount Naburu. Moving from one little pool to a bunch of big ones, we've got ourselves a bathhouse. Now, being an American, I honestly don't really understand how bathhouses work, but we have a bunch of little pools here, and I don't know what else to call this, so you guys can have fun with this and a bunch of little pools with your friends. Number 31, Gerudo Canyon. The main part of this room just has some shallow water for you to wade around in. I think this could be a fun public pool for younger kids to play around in as a safer alternative to the deeper pools of the lakes. The sides of the room are on the deeper side though, so they should probably only be used for the older kids and with supervision of course. And these rocks that peek out of the water make for perfect parent perches so that we can keep an eye on them. Number 30, Hills of Balmer. This one almost isn't even a pool. When you first arrive, it almost seems like a nice well, with plenty of space and a nice flat part for you. Only issue are those rocks in the middle. So you go over to them and you break them, and oops, your house is flooded now. Sorry. Now it's another one of like 100 public pools in Hyrule. You're welcome, everyone. Number 29, Hateno Village. I really do not like this one at all. It is way too big and not even in a fun way. It's all hallways and they're so long and ugly. There are hardly any areas that could be considered rooms unless you want to count this spot between the west and east well or this one between the east and south well. This is one of those wells that have multiple entrances, and it only places this high because it admittedly does have a lot of space with the halls, and it has less waters than the other. Still a good bit, but less. Number 28, New Serene Stable. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have this one, which is much smaller, but big where it counts. Like in this main room, which does unfortunately have some uneven ground and leads into this almost claustrophobic hallway, but it ends in this cozily cute back room. This place isn't big, but if you're a fan of tiny homes, this is the place for you. Number 27, more Garrison Ruins. This one is even smaller, but also drier, and the ceilings aren't so low, so I'd call it nicer. Number 26, construction site. This one is even bigger, has a pool, and a second story. So if you want, you can stay high and dry on the second floor with the pillars, or take a dip in the pool on the ground floor. Gotta love those options. Number 25, Dronox Pass. This one is going to be on the colder side, but not to any deadly degree. And it does have a bit less space overall, but I think that's balanced out by having this really cute elevated layer above. And it's already perfectly flat too, so I just think it slots in nicely right here. Number 24, Foothill Stable. This one is basically the warmer version of the last one. We get some more space on the bottom, and there isn't a top, so calling this the bottom seems a little redundant. I only placed it higher than the last because it isn't so cold. Number 23, Merida Exchange Ruins. Similar again, but this one does have a bit more room, and I like that the space also goes into the wall rather than onto the water, you know? Also, considering how many are in this one, I want to say that ore deposits are not something that I was factoring in while ranking these. Ideally, I'd have them all removed before you even moved in, but I just left them here to look pretty for the footage. Number 22, Raoka Hills. This one is smaller, but it does come with a roommate who is passionate about cooking, and a good meal can make even a closet feel like a chateau. Though Moza does mostly deal in monster meals, so proceed with caution there. Number 21, Haron Lakefront. This bad boy is ever so slightly bigger with his little stick out part. And on top of that, you get to kick it with Sagessa, another roommate. There are a surprising amount of women in wells across Hyrule. Someone should look into that. I hear your heartbeat. Number 20, Zas Island. We'll take a big step up in the space department on this one, though it is just kind of a big room with water on the edges. I only put it here because it was like an upscaled version of the last one. It also kind of reminds me of Dodongo's Cavern a little. Number 19, Kakaro Village. Last one had no walls, and now this one has too many. It gets close to maze-like down here, but it's not that bad. Some of these corners could be made into decent rooms or closets of their own, but of course the best part of this place is in the back, where there's plenty of space, torches for light, and even some vegetables growing for us. This place may be a little eerie up front, but once you get to know it, it's pretty nice. Number 18, Mave Village Ruins. Now this one is more my style. You drop down in front of a pool that you can choose to drain if you don't like swimming, and to your right there's a little elevated section where I might throw down my bed, and to the left there's a larger part where I think a little living room / kitchen would be nice, though it would have to be one or the other. It's not that big. This whole place isn't too big, but it's pretty nice. Number 17, Rabonet Bridge. This one and a few of the next are what I like to refer to as standard wells, which is ironic because there are only a couple of them like this. I call them that because when you come in, they have a fine amount of space and often a little pool, kind of like a shitty little apartment. It's not the best, but it'll serve you fine. Number 16, Lakeside Stable. This one goes higher because if you drain these little pools, it'll give you more room. It has higher ceilings and it has some nice shelves up top that should be utilized. Number 15, South Akala Stable. Just not as many puddles to drain in this one. Number 14, Lurelyn Village. This one is higher because you get a decently sized pool in the back and plenty of foot space, but do drain those puddles again. Number 13, Tabal Woods. This one I really like. You drop into this pool in the first room, and then walk through this perfectly sized doorway into this perfect little cave bigger than most people's college dorms. Having the last tenant stuff still be in here makes it easy to visualize living down here too. Number 12, Kerok Bridge. This is like the updated version of the last. Instead of falling into the water and walking into the nice part, you just fall right into it. And it's even got more space, and already has food growing there for you. A total upgrade in every way. Number 11, Outskirt Hill. And now we fall into the upgrade for the upgrade. This one has some elevation to it, with these fire fruit growing on these natural shelves, and I can appreciate that. I also like that the smaller part that I would use to put my bed in has kind of a curve to the entrance of it. Makes it feel more intentional. Number 10, Aquame Lake, and number 9, Lanayru Wetlands. These two are basically the same, two big places with plenty of space for you and your roommate, who you should avoid, because the only thing worse than a non-binary roommate who never does the dishes is a roommate who is a part of a gang and hates you. So just stick to your side of the cave and you'll be alright. Only reason I have Lanayru higher is because it's bigger. Number 8, Tobantha Bridge Stable. This one is amazing. If I had to rank it just off the first room alone, it would already be a lot better than most of this list, just because of how much space you get. And I also like how this rock hangs down kinda low, just kinda quirky. But then you move into the second room and you have yourself a whole mud lake. Now some might find this as a plus or a negative, that comes down to preference, but I think it's pretty damn cool to have this as a conversation starter, if nothing else. The mud can be dangerous if you fall into it, but as long as you aren't texting and walking, you should be fine. We have some bridges for you to get across to the back, and in the back, we have again what could work as its own home on its own. Now it is smaller than the front room, but I think that just makes it better as like a study or a kitchen or something. And then in the very back, you get a really small room that would be great as a bedroom. Just carve that big lump down for the bed. Overall, great place, and they only get better. Number 7, Poplar Foothills North. With this well, you fall into your typical rocky cavern, but round that corner and you'll find the ruins of an excavation site. And this excavation site is technically a cave, so this is the first of 2 wells that are connected to caves, and the first of 2 wells that I will be going over again when I inevitably make the Which Tears the Kingdom Cave would be the best to live in video. There are 147 of them, almost as many as the shrines in this game, so I am not excited to do that, but I will do it for the content. So let me know if you guys want to see that. But back to the well. This excavation site has considerably more well-constructed walls and floors than the rest of the wells, so that's a nice change. To your left, you might want to consider sweeping up and putting some shelves down for storage, and to the right, there is one inaccessible room that I just cannot for the life of me get into. There's a switch in there to open it, but I accidentally moved the chest to open it out of reach, essentially soft locking us out of it. Sorry y'all. But even without it, we do have another room that we can access with the ladder, though ideally we just knock this wall down. This hall leads us into a very big room, which is probably the closest we'll ever get to having some privacy, so it would make for a nice big old bedroom. Or not, it's your call, but even in the main area, there is plenty of space to do whatever you want with. Number 6, Bottomless Pond. This one reminds me of the cave that Finn and Jake tried to live in when Marceline kicked them out of the treehouse and evicted. Without that reference though, this is still a nice big cave with plenty of space and columns and stalactites, yes stalactites, because they're from the ceiling, for you to hang up lights. At least that's what I would do. If you wanted to live here, you could section off parts of the cave by putting up little walls between the columns. If not, there are already 4 little alcoves along the walls that could work as little bitty rooms. Though this one is pretty small, so make sure to call dibs on the better ones. Some of them even have little flat parts on the side that would make for nice little shelves. So TLDR, this would be a nice place for multiple people to live in. Now of course we're going to be moving into the top 5 best wells to live in. And I'll be honest, any of these next 5 could be the best. I had a really hard time coming up with why any of these were better than the other. So if any of you guys disagree with the placement of these next 5, I'll understand. Leave a comment about it if you feel strongly enough. But without further ado, let's move on to number 5, Highland Stable. I don't know how to structure this next paragraph, so I'm just going to walk you through this place. Coming in off the ladder, we get a nice mud room. A place for you to kick off your shoes, hang up your hat, put your keys down, and then if you head down this tunnel and past this puddle, bars, you'll enter this miniature bottomless pond well, with all the stalactites and columns you could ever ask for. You just need to move past this little pool that I suggest you drain and have a staircase put in its place. Once you get down here, you'll see all this space and a little pool that I again suggest you drain and have filled with concrete so that you have some flat space to use. Moving past our main area, but not largest room, we'll walk into this hallway and on our left find another small pool below us. Now I suggest we keep this one and put up a wall and door in the hallway and then add a staircase down along the wall to make this place into our bathroom with a far too large bathtub. And if you think this is too much for a bathroom, just wait a couple more entries. And beyond the potential bathroom is where the fun begins. The last section of this mansion leads us to the Como Shoreline Cave, the second of the merged cave/wells that I'll be going over again in the caves video. That, seriously, let me guys know if you want to see. This cave is massive, bordering on Batman levels of unnecessary to live here. Though, like Batman, we aren't going to be living here. This is just attached to our far too large house, and we only use it for one thing. But instead of solving crimes, we dive high. This whole back area would be essentially your pool house. If the well were just this cave, it would have made a great activity center. But alas, we are greedy, and we want to live here, and live here you shall. Once you walk in, you'll see that there's a natural diving board for you. And once you get down there, you'll see some space underneath to set up towels and a speaker for fun pool time. If you come back up and walk across the stony bridge, you'll see another little island to chill on if you so choose. Though you'll have to get wet to get on it. Same for the next section of the bridge. Again, I suggest you put down some stairs to connect it. And from there, you're just a few steps away from the mouth of the cave that'll take you to the Como shorelines. Your very own private beach. Not really, but your back door leads straight to it, so close enough. And after that full page tour, I am finally out of things to say about this place, so let's move on to an even bigger place. Number 4, Mount Gustav. Yeah, just kidding, this place is way smaller, only 2 rooms, but after that last one, it's refreshing. You drop in and you have this lovely area with enough space to fit a living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom if you section it right. And then in the back, it's almost too big to just be a bedroom. I'd have to get some of my friends to come live with me, or maybe just set up a second living room just to fill it all in. Now I'm only slightly exaggerating, but there really is a lot of room back here, and I'd have trouble filling it. And that's just about it for this well. Sometimes less is more. Number 3, Urch Plain. Now here's a secret. I just moved this well from number 1 to number 3 as I'm writing this script, because I realized that I'd let my personal bias take over in the ranking of this one. So let's go over it. As it is now, you drop into a pool at the bottom of this very tall well. Already I don't like that. If I were to live here, I'd obviously install a ladder and then make sure it connects to this platform here, and then I'd have this platform connect to this one and install handrails everywhere while I'm at it. And on this platform, I'd like to make it so that the inside of this support also acts as a ladder, so you can access the platform below with ease. And I'd have that ladder go all the way down to the ground so that you can just go straight back up and down. And back to that higher platform, it connects to this natural bridge, and that natural bridge is right above this platform that you should add a little ladder to, and then maybe a few stairs to connect this platform to this lower part. And in this part, I might hang up a TV on this pillar, throw a couch behind it maybe. And back to that platform that got us here, I'd add a little ladder beneath it so I can climb down to the bottomest part of this place. And down here is where we get the most space, and I'm honestly not sure what to do with a lot of it. Though I would definitely make this area in the back into a kitchen, but that's about it. There is a pool, so that would be great for having teeny tiny pool parties. Maybe throw a TV on the back of this rock and then another couch. That way you can drop in straight into the chill section with the ladder from before. Though I do need somewhere to sleep, so we'll get rid of that first couch and then put a bed there. But can you guys see why I like this one so much? It's like a big clubhouse more than an actual home. The way I was thinking of it when I first saw it was like Finn and Jake's treehouse. How you can tell you would just throw all your junk together in this cave or this tree and make it a home. So this is my personal pick for a well to live in, though I can recognize it isn't objectively the best. But I've got the second best coming up right now. Number 2, Caracara Bazaar. First of all, I want all of you to use your imagination and drain all the water in this place right now, because a river runs through this whole well and it's the worst part about it. So let's just pretend it's not there, because ideally it would be drained before you get here. Let's proceed. We slide down into another mudroom, and a pretty big one at that. I might even have this be the bedroom really. A bed right here would be perfect. But through this hallway we enter our main room, and off the bat this flat part already makes for an amazing living room. Throw a couch, a TV, nice rug down, maybe even put a bean bag, and you're set. And then this mushroom area over here would make a great closet. Maybe put some shelves up, some board games, some consoles on them, or even some snacks, some food. On the opposite side of the room, I think this alcove could make for a shitty little guest room. Just haul those big rocks out of there first. And then my favorite part of any home, as you guys probably could have guessed by now, the kitchen. And this area with a pillar would make for a great one. In fact, it's so big, it could likely even double as the space for a dining room. I really like this area. And further down past the main room into the next hallway, they have another, admittedly long, alcove you could use as an office space. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of just a long closet. Further down on the right, we've got another weird long closet, but this one has a little bin to it. Ooh. And all the way in the back is another big old room, and to the left and down is a sand fall. Like a waterfall, but sand. That I suggest staying away from. As for the rest of this area, I don't know. I'll let you guys come up with a use for it. It's a fine amount of room. Maybe you could set up as like something. I don't know. But all in all, this has been a pretty great well, and I'd love to see how people might decorate the place if they lived here. So please do, let me know. And now the number one best of the best is number 1, the Dueling Peaks Stable Well. What a mouthful. Let's walk through it. Sliding down the ladder, you drop into a little pool which can easily be drained and filled in flat. There are 3 places to go from here, to your left, to the right, and in front of you. To the left, we get an alcove with plenty of space for whatever. Hat rack, coat hanger, shoe cubby, a bench, whatever you like to have by your door to discard of when you get home. On the opposite side is a little elevated space that is pretty small. I'm not sure what you could do with this really. But moving forward toward the back, we have another well? What? How can that be? Though I want to talk about the space around the well before we jump into it. This area has enough room for you to put a little table down, some chairs maybe, toss a TV on the wall, put a coffee machine in the corner, and now you've got a nice place to have your coffee before heading out for the day. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. I don't even drink coffee. But once we do jump down that second well, we land in the much larger, more open area. Drain that water, fill it in, and take a look behind you because I think this spot would make for a cozy little office. Cozy, claustrophobic, what's the difference really? But beyond that area gives us more than enough space for all the things we need. In the furthest back area, I think would be great to set up our bedroom / living area. I think it could be fun to put the bed against the wall and put a couch at the foot of the bed, and then make the living room around it. Bring in the shelves, the coffee table, poster, TV, all that. And then off to the left where, you wouldn't believe it, another well is, I'd set up the kitchen. I don't know why, but pillars in the middle always scream kitchen to me. And then maybe even where we filled the water, we could put a table. But not like right underneath the well, of course. We don't want to be landing on the table every time we come in. Speaking of wells, let's go into that third one. And wouldn't you know it, you've got your very own big old personal bathhouse. Take that Mount Naburu Bathhouse Activity Center, we've got a private one. It's also similar to the Riverside Stable with how it's always got this dripping rain interior. This one would work fine as a place to come in and shower or bathe or just chill and relax after a long day. And that's why I think that, paired with the other 2 floors and what you could do with them, lands this well as the number 1 well to live in Tears of the Kingdom. And after that long description of the well that I have placed at number 1, we reached the end of this long video. What did y'all think of the picks? Like I said, any of those last 5 could have been number 1. I just ranked them in the most objective way that I could think of. But if you feel some of these should have been moved around a little, let me know. And if you feel that some of these should have been moved around a lot, then please let me know. And of course, let me guys know what videos you'd like to see in the future. I've already teased the best cave to live in video, but I'd like to take a break from Zelda and work on some other games for Video Game Realtor. I'm thinking the Portal test chambers for the next video. And one last thing, of course, if you liked this video, then please like the video. And if you didn't, leave a dislike. It's all engagement for me either way. And if you really liked the video, then subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Or check out the playlist with all the videos you might have missed if you're new. But with that, I've got nothing else to say, so later!